Check, check, check. Should be live. A little calibration check here. Looks like we're in a good spot. Let's get a scoreboard up here. Scoreboard. Alright, we've got the right teams, we've got the right score. Let's get a time on here. Roll this up to 20 minutes. Okay, and let's get that scoreboard set to the first period, unlike yesterday. I'll get this right. It is. Alright, we have sound, we are live, we have a score, and we have the right teams on the scoreboard. I will send you to our sponsor reel, and I will join you just shortly before the game in about 20 minutes. everybody. Welcome to today's game here. Rematch from yesterday. PEI Western Wolves here at the Grant Harvey Center this morning. Flames with the win yesterday. 20 seconds left in the warm-up here. And you'll see the Western Flames wearing pink today. They're doing their annual Pink in the Rink fundraiser for breast cancer research. So the proceeds of today's 50-50 going to Breast Cancer Foundation research. And some lineup notes. For one, we have a couple different numbers. These jerseys don't have the same full set of numbers. So Claire Boursier is wearing number 3 instead of number 2. Rachel Folks is wearing number 20 instead of number 18. Kenna Easton is wearing number 24 instead of her usual 19. Rylan Arbo is wearing number 40 instead of her usual 29. Austin Yeomans wearing number 30 instead of number 31. A couple other notes today. Waterhouse still out of the lineup, injured. She'll be out for a little while. We're also short Claire Polchis today as well, and Sophia Gauvin serving a suspension from the check from behind yesterday. The duration of the suspension has not been ruled yet by Hockey New Brunswick. We did speak to them, and she is sitting out today, and HMB will send a ruling on what the suspension duration is later. And the player involved from the Wolves side is also not in the lineup today. I saw her walking around. She had a sling on. Not sure the severity or exact nature of the injury that she got in the hit, but she's definitely not in the lineup. So we have Arbo starting in net for the Flames today, and down at the other end, I believe I see number 35 in there, so Alexa Aiken in the net for the Wolves. And we're underway. Johnstone taking the opening face-off, and she's working with Nelson and Cook. First shot face gets directed off to the corner, and Arbo will hang on to that for a face-off. Johnstone in to take the face off here. It's kind of tied up in feet, makes its way back to the blue line. It's going to pop into the neutral zone. Wolves send it back down in deep. Other lineup notes for the Flames here. We have 2 affiliates in the lineup today. Playing defense would be number 5, Sadie Mann. And also is Chloe Lajoie. She's wearing number 66. Both players, U18 AAA Phantoms, or I think it's now officially the Storm, or the Phantom Storm. They were down in the Pictou tournament and were unsuccessful, so they came back home, and benefit for the Flames to have 2 bodies while they're short a few of their own. Wolves dump it into the Flames zone. We're at the 19-minute mark of the first period here. 2 shots on goal by the Wolves, none by the Flames yet. Dooland carried it in, but she's stripped off the puck around the ringette line. Bouncing puck just inside the blue line, finally comes out. Daggle's going to whip that back in. Flames tag up. Defense go for a change. Lawrence, she sends it cross ice. Backhanded into the zone. A couple other Flames go for a change. Eason, Lawrence. Saunders out here now. Boursier backhands it. That one goes out of play. And we'll have ourselves a neutral zone face-off here. Smith in to take the face-off here for the Flames. Tied up in the neutral zone. Feltmate backhands it up the left-hand side. Doesn't make its way to Nelson. Mills pinned along the wall. Dumps it behind the net. Feltmate's going to pick that up. Feltmate. She tries going up the middle. That's picked off again by Mills. Boursier battling in the corner. She's got Smith with her. Finally comes up the left-hand side. Chipped through the neutral zone. Here's Smith. Smith tries backhand into the zone. That's held in by McNeil. McNeil carries it in, takes a shot. Some pressure by the Wolves here early on. 17-10 mark of the first period. Shots on goal showing 3-0 in favor of the Wolves so far. Looks like we're going to have Johnstone, Nelson, and Cook. Johnstone in to take the face-off. She wins it. Daigle loops back behind the net, and we're going to have a penalty call against the Wolves. I'm going to guess that was a hook. Kimball, she bounces across to her partner, bounces off Nelson, and finally, and we do indeed have a hooking call. So that face-off will come down to the Wolves' end. Kimball and Daigle passing back and forth at the blue line. It's coming along the wall, held in by Lawrence. Lawrence again trying to fish it out. That one gets sent down the distance. 20 seconds gone on the Flame power play. Arbo out to play it for Daigle. Daigle, she's looking. Still with it. Daigle through the neutral zone. Daigle tripped up. Flames gain the control here now. Doolan sends it down below the goal line. Folks tried to walk out front there. Now Folks have to scramble couple of the number changes. Looking at my cheat sheet to remind me who's who. There's Daigle through traffic. Doesn't make its way through. Held in again by Daigle. And Wolves get it down. 48 seconds now remaining on the Flames power play. Feltmate back to regroup for the Flames. She sends it up the middle of Cook. Bounces off her stick. Now Boursier. Boursier stripped to the puck. McAdam gonna eat some time below the Flames goal line. Boursier takes it off her. Now we're up the middle. Johnstone dishes off to Smith. That was Nelson. Johnstone along the wall, makes its way back to the point. Feltmate now. Shot. Makes its way through. Aiken's going to hang on to that one. 12 seconds left on the Flames power play. 15:09 of the first period here. No score. Shots on goal showing 3-2 in favor of the Wolves now. Johnstone with the face-off win, back to Feltmate. Feltmate at the side of the net. Johnstone sends try sending it out front to Nelson, but that's held on by Aiken. 3 seconds left now on that power play. Cook tries backhanding it into the middle of Nelson. Now Boursier has it pinned along the wall. Nelson, benefactor of the puck that popped out. Nelson's going to throw it in and go for a change. Johnstone applies the pressure while the rest of the Flames went for a change. And I think here's our first look at 66, Chloe Lajoie. So Chloe be playing up front. And Sadie Mann The affiliate playing on the back. Lajoie, she gets the puck deep into the zone. Try centering it, nobody's there. Tight angle shot. Our bow's going to hang on to that one. We are at the 14:04 mark of the first period. No score here. Second game of a 2-game set with the Wolves. Flames won yesterday. With yesterday's win, Flames moved up one spot in the standings, going past the Cape Breton Lynx. And now 1 point behind, or 1 win behind the Lindsay Surge. However, the Lindsay Surge have only played 9 games, and this is game number 14 for the Flames. So even if the Flames were to match up with a win today, several games at hand for Lindsay Surge. Puck down deep in the Flame zone. Played by Mann. Mann and Folks working in the corner. Now Dooland. Dooland through the neutral zone. She's stripped off the puck by McPherson. McPherson still with it. McPherson walking in. Tight angle shot by McPherson. And Arbeau will hang on to that one. 13:03 the first period. No score here at the Grant Hardy Center in Fredericton. Face-off won by the Wolves. Makes its way back to McPherson, who hit shin pads of Cook. Now the puck's sent down. Icing is signaled. And we will take that face-off again back into the Flame zone. It'll be to the right of Arbeau. 12:50 now of the first period. No score. Shots showing 5-3 in favor of the Wolves now. Johnstone in to take the face-off against Murray. Murray getting tossed due to the encroachment by the right winger. Now Daigle, she's going to recover it. She tries chipping it up the wall, but doesn't make its way out. Johnstone battling for it. Johnstone can't get it out either. Daigle take another stab at it and gets it into the neutral zone. Johnstone's going to chase it. No, sir, that's Nelson putting the pressure on. Daigle sends a puck on end, wobbling off to the corner. Nelson dumps it down. She's going for a change. Smith comes to put pressure on it. Here's Lajoie. She tried pushing it ahead. Got tied up in feet. Wolves regroup in their own zone. 12-minute mark now in the first period. Borsier battling along the wall. Borsier wraps it around to the right-hand side. Feltmate's there. And did the puck go out of play or was it offside? Kind of hard to have just a little bit of a blind spot right here in front of the bench from the sponsor banners. Of course, great to recognize the sponsors, but gives me a little spot where I can't see what's happening or who's there, but that's okay. Puck into the Flame zone. Borsier's going to go back and get it. Borsier, she's looking up the left side to Lajoie. Lajoie, little tap pass, gets it in the neutral zone. But Richards pushes it back up the ice. Battle along the wall here, down in the blind spot. Pops out to Lajoie. Lajoie goes back to the D. Now Richards sends it deep into the Flame zone. And most of the Wolves going for a change, with Stevenson putting the pressure on. Here's Kimball. Kimball chips it up the wall. That gets past Summers. The 11-minute mark now of the first period. Still no score. Long shot from the point, makes its way through. Lajoie's going to chip that one in the neutral zone and go for a change. Lawrence tries to chase down Pino. He still gets a shot off. Saved by Arboche. Now, here's Lawrence. Lawrence through the neutral zone. She's tied up. Pushes it down low. Fultz now with her. Back to Lawrence. Lawrence in the corner along with Fultz. Dooland hanging around out front of the net. But that's going to make its way back. Daggle's going to regroup. And send it back up the left side. Gets by everybody. No icing though. Puck deep in the Wolves zone. Daggle. She goes cross ice. Chipped in by Dooland. Dooland's going to head for a change. And Aiken will hold on to that one. And we are 10:01 of the first period. 7-4 now the shots in favor of the Wolves. Johnstone, Nelson, Cook out here now. Johnstone taking the face-off again against Murray. Cook right in tight. Didn't get much on that shot. It's wrapped around the boards. Daggle keeps it in. Bouncing puck along the wall. Cook has it now. Cook and Johnstone trying to push it deep. Nelson now there too. Makes its way finally behind the net. Johnstone's there. She sends it back. Cook gets a backhand on it. She's taken down. No call. Johnstone pressuring. Comes around the other side. Held in by Mann. A couple number changes in the affiliates. Some of the names don't slip off my tongue quite as quickly and easily. Puck deep into the Flame zone here. Approaching the 9-minute mark of the first period now. Icing waved off. That's going to make its way all the way down. Aiken will hang on to that. For a face-off to her right-hand side. All right, we have Smith in to take the face-off. Lajoie on the left. And Kenna Eason on the right. Won by the Wolves. Deep pinch by Feltmate. Wolves get it out. Here's Mills. Now Webster. Puck down below the goal line. Feltmate grabs it behind the goal line, comes up the left-hand side to Lajoie. Lajoie gets it in the neutral zone, but the Wolves are going to regroup quickly. Long pass up to, I think that's Richards. Quite a few of the Wolves' jerseys kind of tuck in their pants a little bit. Makes it tough to catch some of the numbers. That one's dumped in by McGuigan. And hopefully I'm not saying that too wrong. I know yesterday I'd gone and asked a few of them the proper way to say their names. And then I'm probably still messing it up. But I tried. I made the effort to go ask a couple of the names that I was unsure of how to say it. Puck back to Kimball at the point. She's going to shoot it through traffic. Misses wide left. Lawrence tried to take a stab at it. Now Pino. She goes cross ice to her partner. Back to Pino again in the Wolves' corner. She chips it up the wall. Kimball got a piece of it. Didn't get it back in. Now Lawrence. Here's Lawrence. Shovels it into the corner. That's going to be wrapped around the net by Gamble. Now Folks backhanded it into the zone. Wolves come right back. Daggle takes body position there. But the Wolves still come out with the puck. Now Folks. Folks is going to get it into the zone. Folks, she's cutting towards the net. Just misses wide. She had Dooland go into the net with her. Both at the end of their shift, though. They've head off now. And it looks like we've got the Johnstone Cook Nelson combination again. Definitely seeing a couple different line combinations here today with a combination of the injuries and suspension and some affiliates in the lineup. Good little stretch here without a whistle. We're now down to 6:20 of the first period. Shots on goal are at 8-4 in favor of the Wolves. Nelson's going to go after that in the corner. She's stripped off the puck. Johnstone backhands it back into the zone. Flames need to tag up. Here comes McPherson. She's rubbed off. Nelson lost it in her feet. Now Mann. Mann fires it up to Johnstone. Can't handle the puck. Mills recovers for the Wolves. That one's going down. No icing signal. Borsier backhands it up the right-hand side to Summers. Centering puck. Makes its way back to the point. Shot. Hit something. Ended up hitting high glass. Back to the point. Shot again through traffic. Arbo will hang on to that one. And we'll have ourselves a whistle at the 5:13 mark of the first period. Still no score here at the Grant Harvey Center in Fredericton. Last night, the Fredericton Express played here, that being the new senior team in town. They don't have an actual home arena, so they kind of bounce around. They had their game here last night, and from pictures and stuff I saw, it was absolutely packed house in here, which I'm not sure what that would be in terms of the capacity, but boy, they got some crazy support. Wolves shot, score. Oh, no, they didn't. I thought I saw what? My bad. That was a save by Arbo. I thought the Wolves had tucked that in. So it remains scoreless. Feltmate tries sending it up the right-hand side to Folks. Folks backhands it up the wall. And it's into the neutral zone to Lawrence. Lawrence shovels it softly towards the net, and Aiken's going to cover that one up. I'm sorry about the missed call there. I got deceived. Face off to the left of Aiken. Lawrence in to take it for the Flames. Folks on the right wing. Dooland on the left. Pino sends it up into the neutral zone. Now we have a power play for the Wolves here. Dooland going for contact. 4:32 of the first period. 12-5 showing the shots on goal now, and the Wolves with their first power play opportunity of the game. Johnstone in to take that face-off for the Flames. I think that was McNeil that she was squared up with. Pino, shot through traffic, loose puck. Bounces out. Here comes... Oh, there we go. Pino with the shot. And the Wolves score first on the power play. A couple shots and a rebound came right back out to Pino. And that one went right in. Looked like it was kind of low blocker side. And we are back to even strength. After the Dooland penalty erased by the Wolves' goal. Puck in the neutral zone. Borsier chips it back ahead. Lawrence. She tries shoveling it in. It's going to be recovered by the Wolves. Here comes Webster. Webster tries walking through everybody. She's stopped by Folks and Kimball. But now Mills has it. Mills sends it back to the point. I think that's McPherson. Throws it deep. Borsier sends it behind the net to her partner. That's picked off. Arbo got a paddle on it and kept it behind the goal line. Kimball tries sending it high up the glass. Skips past McPherson into the neutral zone. Now Foltz puts pressure on it. Turns it over for Lawrence. Here's a shot by Dooland. It's going to be gloved by Aiken. 14-6, the shot's on goal. Johnstone in for the face-off. One back to the point. Daigle, shot that's tipped, ends up off of the corner. Body contact was the call on Dooland, just getting announced now. And we'll see if there's any assist on the Pino goal. It was a rebound that popped straight out, so I'm guessing it's Pino unassisted.
Western goal, 421. Scored by number 9, Misha Pinot, assisted by number 6, Charlie Webster.
So Webster gets the assist on that. Here's Cook and Johnstone. Cook throws it towards the net. Played by Aiken. This one's going to go the length for icing. Oh, yep, there we go. And we are at 2:33 of the first period. Face off to the left of Aiken. Won by the Wolves. McGeegan wraps it around the wall in their own zone. Now in the neutral zone. A little bit of a shoulder on into Duncan there, but all good by the referees. There's Smith. Smith dumps it down. That's going to be chased by Eason. Here comes a pinch by Borsier. Gets past her. Duncan backhands it softly towards the net. Arbo directs it to the corner, where Feltmate fires it up the right-hand side but doesn't make its way out. Back into Feltmate's corner again. Feltmate sends it up the wall again. Still contested, ends up behind the net. Now Borsier goes after it. She's pinched off the puck. Finally recovered by Lawrence here. Lawrence is going to keep it. Rest of the Flames going for a line change. Lawrence dumps it into herself. Minute and a half remaining in the first period here now. Puck fired towards the net, but that's blocked. Back to Kimball. Kimball's going to shoot through traffic. Aiken directs that off to the corner. Lawrence is going to be there first. Now Kimball with it. Kimball sends it over to Daigle, who was calling for it. Wolves dump it in. Daigle sends that back to neutral zone. Wolves dump it back into the Flame zone again. Under a minute to go here in the first period. Kimball working below the goal line. She goes to Daigle. Daigle fires it up the middle to Lawrence. Lawrence one-on-one here against Pino. The Wolves goal scorer back to Lawrence. Lawrence in tight. Nice opportunity, but a great save by Aiken. Probably the best scoring opportunity by the Flames so far. And we are 37.8 left on the clock. Johnstone, Cook, Nelson out here now, with Mann and Borsier on the point for the Flames. Borsier throws it down low behind the net. Man up for a pinch at the ringette line, throws it down. Now Johnstone pinned along the wall. Nelson there trying to fish it out. Finally pops out, but on the Wolves' favor. Cook puts pressure on it, knocks the puck free. Makes its way to the neutral zone. Man pushes it up to Borsier. Borsier, wide angle shot, wraps around the boards. Cook is going to keep it in. Time just about ticked away here now, though. 1 second to go. And That is the end of the first period. Wolves leading 1-0 on the power play goal. On the power play goal by Pino. And we will update our scoreboard here to the second period. And get our clock reset. And there we go. We have 20 minutes on the clock for the second period. I will put you on mute, and you will hear from me at the start of the second period. right, welcome back for the second period. Teams making their way to the ice here. Wolves with a 1-0 lead after the first period on the Pino goal, power play goal, while Dooland was in the box for body contact. Shots on goal are 14-10 in favor of the Wolves. Looks like we'll have the Johnstone, Nelson, Cook line start things off with Feltmate and Daigle. And McNeil in to take the face-off against Johnstone to start the period. Puck's bobbled around, comes back the Flames' way, but it's going to end up in the corner. Race for it. Puck centered. Arbeau. Puck bounced around. Daigle tried pushing it forward, but it skipped past her. Now Johnstone battling in the corner. Daigle comes back to help her, sends up the left-hand side. Chip out attempt by Nelson. Gets ahead. Now Daigle's free. Whoa! Daigle hard into the net. Knocks it off. That puck just kind of stayed in no man's land just ahead of her. So unable to make much of a play on it. And we will have a face-off happening in the neutral zone after Daigle knocked the net off. Johnstone in to take it again. Plays it back to Boursier over to Kimball. Kimball's going to throw it down deep into the Wolves' zone. Played behind the net by the Wolves, coming up the left-hand side. Held into the blue line by Kimball. Kimball throws it towards the net. Hits a foot. Now Cook along the wall. Johnstone's there with her. Fishes it out, back to Kimball. Kimball, cross ice to Boursier. Boursier, shot through traffic, hits a face mask. Nelson got a backhand on it. Nothing comes of it. Here come the Wolves to the neutral zone. Picked off by Cook. Cook backhands it back into the Wolves zone. Picked up by Gamble. Johnstone tried playing it offside to call. And we'll have ourselves a whistle. 18:52 of the second period. 15-12 now the shots. Lawrence out to take the face-off. She's got Folks on the right, Dooland on the left. Sadie Mann, affiliate, on the blue line with Daigle. Daigle blows a wheel. Daigle tries holding it in, skips into the neutral zone. Flames had to tag up. Now Lawrence putting pressure on. Sent back around the net. It's going to be picked up by McPherson. McPherson sends it up to the left-hand side. Flames hold it in. Lawrence and Folks battle for it. Send it down low. Now Dooland goes to put pressure on it. Folks has it below the goal line. Centers it. Caught Lawrence on the backhand, though. That one's blown down. I don't know if Aiken had that or not, but blown down. So Lawrence stays out to take the face-off. Dooland on the left, Folks on the right. Feltmate's on the point. Can't see who the other defense is down here in my blind spot. Lawrence tossed from the face-off, so Dooland steps in. Puck's lost in feet. Lawrence steps in, grabs it, takes a shot. Oh! Puck was loose. Referee on the far side there obviously lost sight of that. Puck laid down right in front of Aiken, but she didn't cover it up. Blown down anyways. And we'll have a line change for the Flames. Smith in to take the face off now. She's getting tossed out. So Summers will take it. Boursier and Feltmate on the blue line now. Puck held in by Feltmate. She sends it back down deep into the corner. Puck pinned along the wall. Smith trying to... Smith pulls it out. Centers it. Not picked up in front. Neutral zone. Rolls off the stick of Boursier. Still in the Flame zone. Boursier again. Boursier gets it into the neutral zone. Sent back. Skips past Feltmate. Now Feltmate again. Chips it in the neutral zone. Here's Clara Smith. Smith dishes it to Sommers. Shot attempt. Puck wrapped around the board. It's going to be picked up in the neutral zone by Daigle. Here comes Daigle. And she's offside. 17:03 of the second period. 1-0 for the Western Wolves. Flames have leveled up the shots a little bit here now. 15-14 in favor of the Wolves now. Johnstone, Nelson, Cook out here with Daigle and Kimball. Johnstone kind of won it back a little bit, but not all the way back to the D. Kimball battling for it. Wolves come out with the possession. Murray drifts it into the slot. And the Wolves score. I believe that was Murray. Murray took the initial shot, walked in, got that rebound, and she went top corner. Wolves now sporting a 2-0 lead on 16 shots. And we'll come back to center ice, where Lawrence faces off against goal scorer Murray. Mann pushes it ahead, makes its way into the zone. Here comes Murray. Murray pushes it into the corner. She's going to chase it. Loose puck out front. Here's Dooland. Dooland goes across to Folks. Folks is pinched off the puck. Now back in the neutral zone. Picked up here by Boursier. Boursier's knocked off the puck. Held in by Mann. Dooland battling along the wall. Lawrence comes in to help. Backhanded up front. Shot attempt by Daigle. Makes its way off to the corner. Now Smith sends it back down low for Lawrence. Coming along the wall. Pinch. Held in by Mann. Somebody lost a net guard or something there. Oh no, it was the broken stick. Looked like just a net guard at first, but I see there's more there. Here's Daigle. Down in the Flame zone. Gets it in the neutral zone. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence has Lajoie and Daigle going to the back door. Approaching the 15-minute mark of the second period here. Shots on goal are 16-14 now in favor of the Wolves. But more importantly, the score is 2-0 for the Wolves. Here's Feltmate. She's pressured. Sends it up the right-hand side. Puck brought in. Dropped off to Boursier. Boursier shot through traffic. Makes its way back to the point again. Feltmate through traffic. Just misses wide. Feltmate battling in the corner. And we're going to have a power play. We have a cross-check coming. And the Flames will go to a power play. This is their second power play of the game. So that'll come down to the Wolves zone. And we will have Lawrence, Dooland, and Folks working with Daigle and Kimball on the point. Won by the Flames here. Here's Doolin. Doolin walks in, misses wide right though. Kimball's going to step up and keep it in, wraps it around the wall. Doolin picks it up in the corner. Doolin circling, cutting into the middle again. Doolin cuts in, hit the feet of Folks on the way in. Flames maintain possession. Now Daggle, shot. That one looks like it hit Folks standing in the slot. Now Daggle backhands it to Kimball. That one's turned over, it's hit down the ice. 30 seconds gone on the Flames power play. Now Folks up the right-hand side. She's pressured. She still has it, though. Chips it into the corner. Folks and Dooland putting pressure on, wrapped around the wall. Daggle steps up to keep it in. Bounces past her into the neutral zone. Here's Kimball. Kimball circles back. Sends it over to Daggle. Daggle sends it across ice to Lawrence. Lawrence lots the handle on it. Recovered by Folks. Now bouncing around at the blue line. It's going to have to regroup again. 49 seconds now remaining in the Flames power play. Dooland with a couple looks. Not much else. Down to 30 seconds of the Flames power play. Daggle's going to set things up here. She sends it up the right-hand side. Gets to Lawrence. Lawrence coming in 1-on-3. Gets it down into the corner. That's recovered by Pino. Kimball pinches it. Centers the puck. She was going for a change. Now Boursier with it. 10 seconds left on that power play now. Puck along the wall. Chipped into the neutral zone by Johnstone. Nelson loses it in her feet. That a hand pass. So we'll have a face-off come back into the neutral zone. The time on the clock. 16-15 shots on goal in favor of the Wolves. Neutral zone face-off coming after the hand pass here. And we will have Johnstone facing off against McNeil. Makes its way back to Boursier, who chips it into the Wolves bench. And now we'll have a face-off in the Flame zone to the left of Barbeau. Johnstone and McNeil facing off again, won by Johnstone. Now Boursier behind the net. Boursier comes out, sends it up the right-hand side, but skips past Cook. Puck below the goal line. Boursier, she's almost tripped off the puck. Comes up the left side to Nelson. Nelson chips it into the neutral zone. Icing waved off. Recovered by Gamble. Gamble tries sending it out, but held in by Nelson. Backhanded along the wall. Here comes McNeil, and that is offside. Kimball and Daggle step on the ice for the Flames. Smith, Lajoie, and who is the other winger out there? Eason. Neutral zone face-off. Makes its way into the Wolves zone. Little backhand around the net to McGeegan. He sends it up the right-hand side. Into the neutral zone. Rolls off the stick of Daggle. Arm up. Daggle's going to the box. There we go. Tag up. And hooking is the signal. So the Wolves will now go back to the power play. Pino scored on a power play in the first period for the Wolves. So Daggle for a hook. At the 11:01 mark of the second period, Dooland will take that face-off. Kind of tied up in feet, squirts out. And it's pushed down. Folks is going to put pressure on it. So Folks and Dooland are your penalty killers. With Mann and Kimball. Backhanded into the Wolves zone. Wolves regroup. Chasson sends it up. Kimball trying to pinch that off. Still controlled by the Wolves below the goal line. Now Mann. Mann knocks it loose. Slap attempt by Dooland there, but it doesn't get out. Cross ice pass. Comes back to McGeegan. She shoots through traffic. That's directed off to the corner by Arbeau. 1 minute still remains on the Wolves' power play. Shot on. Arbeau hangs on to that one. Loose puck. Squirts back to the point. Here's McGeegan again. Blockered by Arbeau. And the Flames chip it into the neutral zone. 45 seconds now left in the Daigle penalty. McNeil still with it. Lawrence chasing her. Lawrence and Folks. Shot by McNeil. She carried it the whole way. And Arbeau finally hangs on to that one. With 28 seconds left on the Daigle penalty. Face-off coming to the right of Arbeau. Johnstone and Lawrence now the penalty killers. Face off won by the Wolves. Comes cross ice to McGeegan. Boursier tries wrapping it out, but that's held in again at the blue line. Now here's Murray. Murray tries getting to the middle of the ice. Boursier sends up the left side. McGeegan's going to keep that in again. Shot attempt. She misses wide. And we're back to even strength at the 9-minute mark of the second period. Arbeau directs that one off to the corner. Now Lawrence. She can't get it. Feltmate's going to send that down the ice. Ice is signaled. Rolling puck. Oh, that's going to be one out, though, by Daigle. Flames needed a line change, so good effort by Daigle to beat that icing out, allowing everybody to change. Puck in the neutral zone. Now Kimball. Kimball fires it wide. Chipped ahead here. Loose puck still at the side of the net. Johnstone got a couple stabs at it. After Nelson got it to the net. Johnstone in to take the face-off here, and this time she's working with Nelson and Lajoie. Johnstone wins it back to Mann. Mann sends it along the wall. Skips past Nelson, though. Back again. Mann rips it wide right. Now Kimball. Kimball throws it towards the net. And this time, the Wolves send it down. That one's going to go for icing. Couple Wolves players kind of vocal there that the puck was tipped. Icing call stands. Johnstone didn't take the face off. She wins it back. Daigle gets it through. Chips off harmlessly to the side. Now Feltmate. Feltmate tries stepping around, loses the handle on the puck, elects to throw it into the corner. Now Johnstone behind the net. Johnstone's pinched off. She's got Nelson there with her. Wolves come out with it. Lajoie now behind the net. Johnstone headed to the bench for a change. Smith in to take her spot. Held in by Nelson. Nelson throws it towards the net but misses wide right. It's going to be recovered though by Smith. Smith sends it back to the point. Comes across to Daigle. Daigle's walking in. Shot. She misses wide left. Now Feltmate. Feltmate sends it into the corner. Flames with a little bit of sustained pressure there for a couple minutes or so. And we're down to about 6:30 of the second period. Wolves leading 2-0 here in the second game of the two-game weekend set. Flames with the win yesterday. But trailing 2-0 just a little bit past the midway point of this one so far. Daigle sends that down. Icing signaled. And that will come back to the Flames zone. Shots now showing 20-18 in favor of the Wolves. And we are at 6:07 of the second period. Mills in to take the face off for the Wolves. Smith for the Flames. Wolves won it. Here's Chasson. Drops it for Mills. Mills goes top shelf. And we have a 3-0 game now in favor of the Wolves. .550 of the second period. Wolves now leading 3-0 on the Mills goal. Probably we'll listen in and see if we have an assist by Chasson. I believe that was Chasson. Puck in the Flame zone. And we have a penalty call. Borsier just got bowled over. Arm up. In the neutral zone to Newland. Arbeau heading to the bench, but they're offside. And body contact is indeed the call. I think that's 12. So it looks like it's Murray in the box for body contact at the 5:19 point. And the Flames with another chance on the power play. And we'll have Johnstone, Cook, Nelson started off with Borsier and Feltmate on the blue line. Puck's tied up, makes its way back. Borsier steps up, keeps it in. Now Johnstone. Johnstone looking. Johnstone still with it, drops it back to Borsier. Borsier wraps it back around the boards, but that gets past Johnstone. Now it skips past Cook. Nelson back into the little corner. Makes its way back to Feltmate. Feltmate now backs it up. Tried to push it back ahead to Nelson, but it skipped past her. Now Borsier. Borsier's going to gain the blue line. Borsier still with it. Borsier is going to send it back to Nelson. Nelson from the point, back to Borsier. Back into the neutral zone, picked up by Feltmate. Johnstone, nope. No, that was Borsier. Sent it down deep. Flames get a line change. Kimball and Daigle step on the ice.
Penalty at 5:19. Number 12, Hallie Murray. 2 minutes for body contact.
52 seconds left in the Flames power play here. Lawrence with it. Lawrence shovels it deep. But with the other Flames changing, Wolves were able to recover. Flames in tight, backhand shot, pops out. Now Kimball. Kimball fires through traffic. Dooland in front of the net, tried to get a piece of it, but couldn't get it. 20 seconds remaining on the power play now. Back to the point to Daigle. Daigle, she tried stepping around. She's peeled off the puck, but ends up back on her stick. And she fires. But Aiken's going to hang on to that one. And we are 3-3-3 of the second period, and the Flames trailing by 3. 14 seconds left in the Murray penalty. Face-off won by the Flames. Folks tried to push it back to Daigle, but picked off. Now Dooland in the corner. Folks centering puck. Couldn't get the backhand on it. Lawrence. Now Dooland in the corner. We're back to even strength. Murray straight out of the box. Rejoins the play. Flames still with control. 3 minutes remaining now in the second period. Wolves with 3 goals on 21 shots. And the Flames, no goals on their 19 shots. Puck popped into the neutral zone. Here comes Kimball. Kimball's just going to dump it in. It's going to be chased by Lajoie. Lajoie, one of the 2 affiliate players dressed today. Sadie Mann, the other, playing defense, wearing number 5. Here's Kimball. Kimball, she's going to wrap it deep again. Lajoie in to put pressure on it. Lajoie pushing it forward. She comes out with it. She looks back to Mann. Mann goes cross ice to the partner. Daigle didn't have space to do anything though, so she sends it back to the corner, wrapped around the net. Flames applying some pressure here. Pops back to Mann. Mann shot through traffic, blocked it off to the corner by Aiken. 2-minute mark now. Mann keeps it in again. Here's Lajoie. It was just out of her reach as she spun around. And now Daigle's going to recover it deep in the Flame zone. She sends it up the right-hand side. Into the neutral zone. And I think that was Gamble, threw it into the corner. Smith sends it up the left side to Lajoie. Lajoie is going to throw it towards the net. Aiken's going to cover that one up. Nope, she's going to play it. Flames going for a line change. Here comes Lawrence Johnstone Folks, approaching the last minute of the second period. .108 left on the clock. Referee over at the Wolves bench saying something to Richards. So 108 will have a face-off in the Wolves zone. Johnstone wins it over along the boards. Or no, was that? No, sorry. That was not Johnstone. It is now Dooland, Lawrence, and Folks. Johnstone had been out there prior. Comes back to Boursier. She pushes it along the wall. Shot from a wide angle. Ends up hitting the side of the net. Dooland. She loses control in the corner. Still down deep. Here's Dooland again. Dooland working behind the net. Tries centering it to Lawrence. Lawrence gets a backhand on it. Unable to get a lot on it, though. And there is now 29 seconds left. Lawrence will take that face-off. Nelson on the left. Boursier and Feltmate on the blue line. Ref calling to get that puck moved. Folks slinging around, looking for it to pop out. It does. She ends up missing wide left. Down to 10 seconds left on the clock here. Flames leading the shots on goal now, 22-21. Here come the Wolves. Great dive. by Boursier to break up that play. And it is 3-0 for the Wolves after 2. And I will send you back to our sponsor reel, and I'll rejoin you for the third period. welcome back as we approach the start of the third period here. Let me get my scoreboard reset to say the right things. Didn't get stuck. Yesterday I got stuck coming out for the, can't remember if it was the second period or the third period. Yeah, it must have been the third period when the crowds were starting to roll in for the senior game, and they were trying to start blocking people from entering in, and I ended up scrambling back and missing. Unfortunately, I missed the Flames' goal. All right, we have the third period up there now. Let's roll this to 20 minutes. Alrighty. Scoreboard is now up to date, and we are ready for the third period. Flames trailing 3-0. Shots on goal are 22 to 21 in favor of the Flames right now, and it looks like we will have Lajoie, Lawrence, and Folks start the period. And we're underway here. Puck into the neutral zone. Mann sends it up the left side. Lawrence gets it. Knocked off her stick. Coming back the other way. Folks chops it ahead. McEgan dumps it deep into the Flame zone. Borsier shoveled it up. Arbeau faces a shot, drinks it off to the side. Now Lajoie is going to send that down the ice. No icing, no. Lawrence races in after it. Now Folks recovers it. Centering puck to Lajoie. Lajoie didn't quite get all of that shot and ends up in the corner. Lajoie again tries throwing it towards the net. Doesn't make its way there. Wolves wrap it around. There's Thomas. Skips past her. Lawrence got a stick on it in front of the net. Ends up in the corner. Chipped into the neutral zone. Daigle cross ice to Mann. Mann, she's knocked off the puck. Now here comes Murray. Murray's bowled over. Both referees got their arms up for that. And, I think we saw a head contact signaled. Referees having a quick discussion here. And it looks like it will be Mann with 2 for head contact. Seems to be the call. So that will come down to the left of Arbeau. And it looks like Smith and Dooland will be your penalty killers for the Flames. Face-off tied up in feet, ends up below the goal line. Borsier battling for it. Borsier and Kimball, your defense pairing. Borsier has it pinned, finally knocked free. Walk out front, shot attempt. Arbeau has it. She's going to hang on to that. Oh, sorry, the penalty call was a 4. So there's 3:46 remaining in that penalty. Face-off gets chipped over to Folks. Folks tries popping it out, hit a shin pad. Held in at the blue line. Shot attempt. Doesn't make its way through all the traffic. Loose puck in front. Bouncing. Scramble here. No idea where that puck is. Arbeau had it. And covered it up. Only 30 seconds gone on that penalty so far. 3:30. Sadie Mann will sit in the box. Lawrence taking the face off. Won by the Wolves. Wolves working from the point. Shot attempt in tight. Makes its way back to the point again. Lawrence got a stick on that. Knocked it free, and Daigle will shovel it down the ice Aiken out to play it. McEgan comes out the left side. Pushes it up to McPherson. Lawrence gets it, backhands it down low into the zone. Now Dooland. Dooland and Cook now working the penalty kill for the Flames. In the neutral zone, here's Mills. She drops it off. That one hit the shin pads of Dooland, makes its way over to the side wall. And now Feltmate will get that one the length of the ice. Aiken out to play it again. McNeil with it here. She's pressured by Cook. And now Webster regroups. Here comes Webster. Webster's going to carry it. Webster pushes it into the corner. Halfway through the 4-minute penalty to man. 1:48 left on that penalty. Here comes McNeil. McNeil establishes the zone, sends it back to Richards. Richards across to Gamble. Gamble loses a handle on it and has to reset. Here's Gamble in the neutral zone. She resets again. This time she goes long cross ice to Richards. Richards shot softly blockered there by Arbeau. Wolves working it down below the goal line. Finally comes back to the point to McGeegan, who shoots through traffic, ends up in the corner. Down to 50 seconds left in the man penalty for head contact for 4 minutes. Here's Richards. Richards' shot from a tight angle goes high over the net. And that one's finally chipped out by Smith. "20 seconds now left on that Wolves power play. Flames send that one down. Lawrence pins it along the wall. Popped out. Here comes Stevenson. Stevenson tries dropping it for Murray. And we are back to even strength. Flames kill that one off. Now here's Dooland. Dooland backhands it across to Lawrence. Wolves get it, flip it up the ice. Kimball's going to pick that up. Kimball. She sends it hard up the ice. It's chipped into the middle, but picked off by the Wolves. Wolves shot and a rebound. I think Chason took the original shot. And I think it was Mills who picked up the rebound. Stuffed that in. So the Wolves unable to score on the 4-minute power play, but here just shortly after, pop one in. Let's take a 4-0 lead now. As we are at 14. Oh. Okay, the assist by Webster. Goal by Mills. Kimball knocks that free. Wraps it around the boards. Johnstone putting pressure. We have an arm up. And we're going to have another penalty call. This time it's going to be Kimball. At the 13:23 mark of the third period, shots on goal showing 27-23 in favor of the Wolves. Wolves player up now. So that was Murray, slow to get up. I didn't watch the referee signal at the box, so I'll have to wait for the penalty call. Face off to the right of Arbo. Kimball in the box. Smith taking the face off there. Here comes the shot. That one's gloved by Arbo. And we'll take another face off. Lawrence and Folks jump on the ice for the penalty kill. Face-off is tied up in feet. Makes its way back to the point. Shot. That misses high and wide by Pino. Wolves recovered in the corner. Body contact was the call on Kimball. Pino sends it across ice. Now McNeil. Back over to Pino. Pino dumps it down. It's going to be recovered by Daigle. Daigle tries wrapping it hard. Held in. Lawrence got a stick on it, but didn't get it out of the zone. 1 minute gone in the Kimball penalty. Puck down into the Flame zone. Boursier lunges at it, gets past her. Now backhanded down the ice by Boursier. Aiken out to play it. 30 seconds remaining in the Kimball penalty. Boursier steps up, chops it back into the Wolves zone. Here's Mills. Mills tries stepping around man. And it's back into the neutral zone where McPherson needs to regroup with Richards. Here's Mills. Mills walks in tight. She shoots it over the net. Loose rebound sitting right there in the crease, and that is just tapped in. And we are now at 5-0. There was 4 seconds left in the Kimball penalty, so that will go down as a power play goal. Johnstone, Nelson, Somers. Not sure ref's waiting to get the penalty off the scoreboard, I think. Get the penalty off and get the goal up. I'll take that time to reset my clock properly, and we are at 11:27. Face-off won by the Wolves. Picked off there by Feltmate. Skips past both Somers and Johnstone into the Flame zone. Somers, she pushes it ahead. She's going to get there first, too, down below the goal line. Johnstone takes a hack at it, bounces it into the slot, and it's coming back the other way. (28-23) are the shots on goal now in favor of the Wolves. After the Flames with a series of penalties. That's a long one, and that's going to be held on to by Arbo, and we'll have ourselves a face-off back in the Flame zone, just shy of the halfway point of the third period here. Face-off to the left of Arbo. Puck makes its way to the neutral zone. Wolves have to tag up. Face-off won by the Flames. Here's Mann. Mann tries going cross ice to Smith. Smith got tangled up. Makes his way back to Mann again. Mann's knocked off the puck. Now Boursier. Boursier to Mann. Mann goes long cross ice pass. But it skipped past the intended target, Eason. And we are at the halfway mark of the third period. Here's Daigle. Daigle sends a long pass. Makes his way past. And into the Wolves zone. Wolves will come back with it. Puck tipped in the neutral zone. Right to Arbeau, and she'll hang on to that one. And we'll have another face-off to the left of Arbeau. I believe that's Lawrenson to take it. Lawrence has Folks and Cook. Here's Cook. Cook pulling away. Cook just over the net. Another shot attempt. Cook there for the rebound. Skips past her stick. Now Boursier is going to recover. Lawrence in the neutral zone. Here comes Lawrence. Lawrence, Cook, Folks. Lawrence throws it towards the net. Aiken will hang on to that one. And we will have a face-off by Lawrence. She wins it back to Boursier. Boursier just whips it into the corner. Lawrence will recover that one. Now Cook on the other side. Cook tries dishing it back down to Lawrence. It's picked off. Centering puck to Folks. Folks gets a backhand on it, but can't keep control. Folks. Looking around. Here's Mann. Mann. Lost a handle on it. Boursier back to recover. Boursier across to Mann. Mann to Lawrence. Cook heads to the bench. And now a little bit of pressure by Summers while the rest of the Flames change. Johnstone and Nelson jump out, along with Feltmate and Daigle. Gamble. She throws it, misses wide. Now Pino gets it down to the corner. Johnstone's rubbed out. Puck comes cross ice. Feltmate's going to pick that up. She pushes it ahead to Nelson. Oh, sorry, that's Summers. Who heads to the bench. Now Smith jumps onto the ice. Johnstone pushes it to Smith. Smith tries shoveling it over to Nelson, but it's out of her reach. Nelson pushes it into the corner. Smith goes to put pressure on it. Johnstone heads to the bench. Puck held into the blue line by Feltmate. Here comes Stevenson. But Murray was offside. So 7:16. Third period. Wolves up 5-0 on 30 shots. Wolves dump it down. That's icing. Or not. Back linesman had the arm up and vocalized the icing, but no call. Shot. Arbeau directs that one off to the side. Now LaJoie, she's taken down. A little bit of an awkward looking fall, but she's popped straight back up and into the play. Shot attempt, that misses the net wide. Rebound off the back boards, it almost bounced out open on the other side, but handled. That one snuck through our bow somewhere, I think. Ended up in the corner. Boursier tried to backhand it to her partner behind the net, but it hit the side of the net. She gets another stab at it. Pushes it up the left side. LaJoie overskates it, leaves it. Now Kimball picks it up. Lawrence. Looks like she had stuck her foot out, but maybe not quite far enough, and that'll be offside. And we'll have a neutral zone face-off. 6:03 now. 31-25 is the shots on goal. Face-off in the neutral zone. Now Folks walks it across the blue line, but the play's broken up. Lawrence tries slapping it free. Contested puck along the wall over there. And Mills comes out with it. Now Daigle. Daigle goes cross ice to Mann. Mann's going to be offside. .534 remaining in the game. Johnstone wins the faceoff back to Daigle. Daigle just whips it into the corner. Johnstone goes to put pressure on it herself. There's Summers. Back into the neutral zone. Daigle with it. Daigle whips it down, no icing. Puck down low. Back to the point. Mann, shot attempt. Didn't get much on it. Johnstone sends it back to Daigle. Daigle's going to walk in. Daigle didn't get a piece of that. Johnstone's going to recover. She's pinned along the wall. Thomas fishes it out of that. Hands it over to McNeil. McNeil throws it towards the net. Arbeau directs it off to the corner. Arbeau again directs that soft shot off to the corner. Daigle sends it up the right side for Cook. Here's Cook and Summers. Johnstone's headed to the bench. Smith jumps out onto the ice. Boursier lost an edge, went down. Here's 3 Wolves, but the puck just out of reach. Puck is still loose there in front. Finally pops out. Wraparound attempt. And the puck ends up in the corner. And another shot on Arbeau, and she'll hang on to that one. With 3:39 left in the period now. Just having a peek at the schedule, and it looks like the Flames, or at least in my calendar, have a single game next weekend. Against the Rockets. Puck chipped into the neutral zone past Kimball. Here's Chasson. Chasson goes cross ice. Arbeau gets across for that one. Lawrence in to take that face off. Tied up in feet. Comes up the wall to Lajoie. Lajoie pins the player along the wall. Lawrence comes to fish it out, and she does. Pushes it around the net to Kimball. Kimball sends it up the right side to Fultz. Puck into the neutral zone. Duncan sends it in. Recovered by Kimball. Here's Kimball up the left side to Lajoie. Doesn't get out. Kimball chips it behind the net to Daigle. Daigle reverses, but it only ends up going softly up the wall. It would be picked off by Gamble. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence to Lajoie. Lajoie tries pushing it down into the zone. Gamble has it. Up the other side, Lawrence has it now. Back into the Wolves zone. Here comes Pino. Pino chips it into the corner for herself. Nobody there with her. Puck comes back out the other way. Here's Lawrence. Getting towards the end of that shift. And she's going to head to the bench. Slap from the point kind of flutters its way off into the corner. Now here's Johnstone. Johnstone in the middle. Sends it up the left side. Dooland. Dooland doesn't get it out. Now man. High shot. Misses wide. Ends up in the corner. Almost approaching the last minute of play here. Comes up the left side. Dooland tries chipping it out. That one's held in by McGeegan. Flames again try to get it out. Into the neutral zone for Richards. Richards cross ice to McGeegan. Up the left side to Chason. And it looks like offside was the call in my blind spot. .43 seconds left in this one. Wolves with the 5-0 lead here, which will result in a split of the weekend match. Now Feltmate pushes it around behind the net. Up the left side. Doesn't get out of the zone. Smith. Smith through the neutral zone. She loses the handle on it. Comes back the other way. Here's Chason. Chason puts the brakes on. She's got McPherson. McPherson throws it towards the net. Doesn't make its way through all the bodies. And that is a wrap. Thank you for joining us yesterday and today. And we'll be talking to you again next time the Flames are here at home.